All Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-stepping. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and I want to start out this episode by saying what an incredible weekend here in Nashville for the hockey community. Let me first go and take you back to the Homebase Freakout. The last time we talked, we were on the eve of the Homebase Freakout, and now we are a couple of days clear of it, and I want to tell you all about the incredible night that was the Homebase Freakout. We promised it would be a night to bring the entire hockey community together with special guests, giveaways, and even have a few beers together, a laid-back atmosphere where everybody just got to relax and enjoy the hockey community, and that's exactly what happened. Tailgate Brewery was absolutely incredible. They had everything set up and prepared, and as a matter of fact, it was early on Friday afternoon when I got the message and I got the call that I needed to get down on location because although the event was starting at 7 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, the bar was already packed. Thank you so much, Renegades from Nashville, Renegades from Tampa, and Renegades from all around the world. Had a chance to meet and talk to so many of you great people. I got there at 3 o'clock and I cracked that first beer, the Renegades of Puck beer that you see right here in the bunker. And you'll see a whole stack of them over here, and we'll continue working our way through those as the season moves along. So stick tap to Tailgate Brewery for having everything set, having the beer in the cans on tap, cold, ready to go, and being ready to serve all of the Renegades of Puck and all of our friends in the most incredible way. Your staff was awesome. Shortly after that, it was Eric Young and the Ultimate Predator arriving on the scene for the Homebase Freakout, and you could tell already it was going to be a great day. There were smiles all over the place. The Renegades of past and present showed up, and we had enough time to spend a little bit of a reunion, take a group photo, and have some good fun talking amongst ourselves. From the Renegades of Puck that started with me at the beginning all the way to the Renegades of Puck that are serving in the trenches with me today. That was such great fun getting some time to spend with not only the Renegades of Puck, but with the Renegades of Puck families and everyone that they brought with them. Great job, you guys. It was so awesome to see each and every one of you. Jack Porco from the Mighty Drunks was even there. One of the greatest scorers in Recreation League hockey here in Middle Tennessee. So many championships and Stanley Kegs. I don't know if he can even remember all of them at this point, but the Mighty Drunks also in attendance as well. John Bellucci, Brandon Adams, Trevor Patterson, Kevin Stokel, and so many others. Incredible. All great hockey players, all great people on top of that, and they were there in the house with us for the Homebase Freakout. And our special guests, I mean, you got to talk about them. It was so awesome. Got a chance to talk a little bit about New Jersey, where I am from and where Bobby Ryan is from. We spent about 10 minutes over there off to the side, just having a good time and talking about those days and living back in the Garden State. Also, Allie Lacombe, stick taps, love and respect to you, Allie. It was incredible having you out there at the event. You talked to me and told me a little bit about how to win a face-off a little bit better. And in the past, you've also proven to me that I can do the impossible. So having you at the event sure did mean a lot to the Renegades of Puck. Lindsay Rowley came in, did a run-in. We hung around and we talked for a few minutes. We took a quick picture. I got her to autograph the event poster. Homebase Freakout was really electric. So many people having such a good time. Here's Jonathan Schaefer, my longtime partner in the trenches with the Renegades Puck, goes all the way back to the very beginning. The first troublemaker on the show was Jonathan Schaefer. There is no doubt about that. And Hall of Fame sports writer Teresa Walker was absolutely having the best time representing in her Renegades of Puck jersey. It was so cool to have her out there. Chris Mason then arrived like a rock star, and the house was absolutely electrified. Had a chance to hang out with Mason, talk with him for a few minutes. We talked about the Renegades of Puck. We talked about the no half-step and movement, the power of positivity, and we shared a couple of stories real quick, just having a good time, having some fun, and sharing a Renegades of Puck beer right there at Tailgate Brewery. Of course, Hal Gill came in just after that, and the Bag Shuckers were right there, and they were hanging out, having a good time, meeting and greeting with all of the different Renegades of Puck. Speaking of the rest of the Renegades of Puck, just take a look around the room and some of the photos that I'm showing you right here. The place was absolutely packed. The first floor, the second floor, the overflow patio outside, even as cold as it was, we even had plenty of people outside. Just take a look at all the smiles, take a look at all those Renegades of Puck jerseys, take a look at all those Renegades of Puck beers, and look at how great a job Tailgate Brewery is doing. It was absolutely an incredible and fun night. Stu Grimson got up on the stage, and he was electrifying. He brought the house down with a collection of F-bombs and promises that this hockey community will never forget. We also then saw a brand new faction emerge on stage as Chris Mason and Hal Gill, the Backchuckers, called for me, the captain of the Renegades of Puck, to join them on the stage. It was at that point that Chris Mason made a speech that I will never forget. He then awarded me with the jacket that you see me wearing right here in the bunker and that you can see on stage in the GIF that's playing in the corner of the screen right now. Mace, I'll never be able to thank you enough for that gesture. I'll never be able to thank the Backchuckers enough for that gesture. But damn it, man, that was one hell of a no half-stepping moment. It might have even been the absolute essence of no half-stepping. Stick Tap's love and respect to you, to Hal, the Backchuckers, and everyone who was involved with surprising me with this leather jacket. This new faction, I'm telling you right now, they're not effing around. As you can see on stage right here, I made a speech, I brought the house down, and I told the Renegades exactly how I feel about them. It was great to have so many people in attendance, so many different media organizations represented, from print to radio to television to the web and beyond. Social influencers, it didn't matter. They came from each and every level to join us for the Homebase Freakout and to support and celebrate the Renegades of Puck. It was an incredible showcase of just what it is that we can do as an organization that is a force for positivity in the hockey community. This is just another step in the continuing build that I have for the visions for the Renegades of Puck. So I am very much looking forward to things like this happening again in the future, creating more moments like this and making them bigger and grander each and every time. When the weekend wraps up, you have Pekka Rinne Jersey Retirement Night, you have the Homebase Freakout, you have the Stadium Series, the Renegades of Puck, right there on par with all of those events, throwing an event that brought the entire hockey community together. I don't even have time to mention or thank every person that was there. Didn't even mention yet Joe Rexroad and Chase McCabe from 102.5 The Game. Greg Wyszynski, of course, from ESPN, the Puck Daddy. Haley Murphy from Couch Guy Sports. Haley is just incredible. Finally had a chance to meet her. And, of course, Stephen Wino from the AP, just fresh off of covering the Olympics. He comes to our event and hangs out. It was such an incredible time. Again, I don't even have a chance to... I didn't even mention AJ Malesko was at our event. U.S. Olympic hero A.J. Malesko was at the Homebase Freakout, just hanging out and having a beer with the crew. What an incredible night. I'm going to be remembering little pieces of this for many months to come. We'll get the documentary, we'll get the full footage, we'll get all of that out soon. But there is one more thing I want to share before we finish talking about the Homebase Freakout, and it is the aftermath. Here I am, back in the bunker, safe and secure after walking bright in the sunlight with each and every one of you Renegades of Puck, spending an entire night glad-handing and working the room like a human tornado. And you can tell the look on my face is that of a captain that has done his job. It was incredible to be out there promoting the event and to be part of the event, hosting the event, and everything that happened. But believe me, Renegades, it is simply one step in a very large staircase, ladder, or whatever climbing device it is you choose to visualize in your mind. It is simply the next step in our organizational and our movement forward. You will see us again, Renegades of Puck. You will see us again, Nashville. You will see us again, hockey community. This was special. This was incredible. I am so appreciative, and I feel a lot of love. I'm going to stop, pause, and think and contemplate about everything that happened this weekend for the coming days and figure out exactly what happens next as far as a showcase for me, the Renegades of Puck, and the potential for my career moving forward. Well, we'll see what happens, but I do know that the industry's eyes were open very wide to exactly what the Renegades of Puck can do, going from not existing 5 months ago to drawing almost 2,000 people to their live event and party called the Homebase Freakout. At this time, I do want to check in with the ultimate one. He was such a great part of the Homebase Freakout. He handled the MC duties. He helped me build the event from the ground up, and he was there glad-handing, shaking hands, and taking pictures with just about everybody that he could find. The ultimate one, before we even get the show going, he just wanted to share a couple of thoughts very quickly. Ulti, it's all yours.
Ulti. Charlie wants your reaction for the Renegades. Ulti, wake up. I'm trying, Charlie.
The ultimate one is feeling the same way as many of us are after a long weekend and an incredible weekend of celebrating all things hockey, not just the Nashville Predators, but all things hockey. It was so great to see all different levels of hockey celebrated. The veterans group out there on the ice, the stadium series, all of the local recreation hockey groups getting to come out to the Homebase Freakout and hang out. And, of course, Pecorine being back in town, all of the parties, all of the celebrations, all of the fun, all the good vibes, and all the greatness that comes with the hockey community. We'll check back in with Ulti in a little bit and see if he's doing any better. Homebase Freakout. What a night. Now listen, very quickly, let me tell you about renegadesofpuck.com. It would mean a lot if you go to renegadesofpuck.com. Right there, you can gain any information you need to know about us, including the merchandise link. Right now, we are running a 20% off sale that ends at midnight on March the 1st. Everything that is in our merchandise store is available for 20% off to you. Go to our social media. You'll be able to get the promo codes right there. It would mean a lot to us if you would go ahead and pick something up. We're so thankful for all of you and the support you've given us that we went ahead and threw the Homebase Freakout t-shirts up there, discounted. Also, the typical regular logo t-shirt, the Pride logo t-shirt, and all of our other gimmicks and merchandise you come to expect. We've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media, it's more critical than ever. Now, we have gained a foothold, but that foothold will mean nothing if you do not support us. Please go to YouTube and give us a subscription. We're doing a great job. We're up to over 120 subscriptions now, and we sure do appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show, especially you, Skip, who checks out the desk to see all of the differences in each and every episode. That's right. We switch things up, and we leave Easter eggs all over the place for you, the audience. We try to make it fun on many different levels. We'd also appreciate it if you would post those links on Facebook and then on Twitter, also Instagram. Let people know about the Renegades of Puck on Instagram. That's where you can find us. You can find a full audio podcast version of the show there on SoundCloud, as you have been able to traditionally find what used to be known as Predneck Nation Radio. Now Renegades of Puck TV appears in the same format on the same platform, SoundCloud. You can check it out right there. And we've been having a lot of fun behind the scenes on our Twitch live stream. It's behind the scenes for a reason. You get to see the inner workings of the broadcasting industry. I give you some advice and give you some expertise, and we have a little therapy session from time to time. If I'm going to drop an F-bomb, it's probably going to happen on that feed, and if there's any mistakes or second takes, that's exactly where you can see them. Also, you get the information before anybody else does. Check that out. That is the Renegades of Puck on Twitch. Please become a partner of the Renegades of Puck. We have exhausted all of our funds by pulling off the Homebase Freakouts, and we sure could use a little bit of resupply. Scan the code on your screen right now, or go to Venmo, search renegadesofpuck.com. Every single dollar that goes into that account goes right back into the Renegades of Puck. You can see all around me the upgrades that we have been making. So appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. Now listen, no half-step in hockey coverage has finally got to get here. So let's get underway with operation number 614. That's right, show 614 for the Renegades of Puck and Predneck Nation Radio, right here from the bunker and Renegades of Puck TV. The Nashville Predators sit in fourth place after 53 games played. They have a record of 30, 19, and 4, 64 points. Has the Nashville Predators sitting 1 point behind third place Minnesota. Has them sitting 6 points behind second place St. Louis. And it's not even worth calculating any longer how far back they are first place Colorado, but I'll do it for you anyway. It's 18 points back of the Colorado Avalanche at this time for first place in the Central Division. So the real battle in the Central now is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 spots. The Dallas Stars do sit in fifth place, 3 points behind the Nashville Predators. The Winnipeg Jets follow that up at 55 points. The Chicago Blackhawks at 46, and the Arizona Coyotes are at 32 points. Now, for the Nashville Predators, finishing in the top 3, of course, would mean an automatic playoff bid, but there are, of course, 2 wildcard spots available, and I do believe that the Nashville Predators will be well in range to qualify for one of those wildcard spots if they do not finish in the top 3, but they'll have every opportunity to finish in the top 3. We talked a lot about games in hand before the All-Star break, before the excitement of this week, and how that could become a big difference. Well, most of those games at hand have now been completely made up. I think once at time, I said the Colorado Avalanche couldn't possibly win every single game they had to make up. Well, I was probably wrong about that, because now they have the same amount of games played as the Nashville Predators, and they are 18 points ahead of the Nashville Predators. St. Louis has played 1 less game than the Preds. Minnesota's played 3 less game than the Preds. The Dallas Stars have played 1 less game than Nashville. Winnipeg has played the same amount, and for the first time, somebody in the Central Division has actually played more games than Nashville. That is Chicago at 54. Getting away from the division standings and getting back into what's at hand, the next game for the Nashville Predators will take place on the road, where they have a record of 15, 9, and 4. They will be taking on the Seattle Kraken for the third and final time this season. The Preds have a 1-1 record against Seattle this season. They've picked up 2 out of a total 4 points. On the 14th of October, it was the Preds' first game of the season. And it was the first show for Renegades of Puck TV. It was the Kraken defeating the Nashville Predators 4-3 in their first ever franchise victory. UC Saros gets the loss 22 out of 25. It was Tolvin and Granlund and Yossi who scored the goals for the Nashville Predators. They played again on the 25th of January, and the Nashville Predators fared much better at Bridgestone Arena with a 4-2 victory. Actually, that game was in Seattle. The Predators' first ever trip to Seattle. The Preds come away with the 4-2 victory. Saros gets the victory in that one, 33 out of 35. Forsberg, Ekholm, Cunnin, and Duchesne are your goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Now, the Seattle Kraken started out the season with a whole lot of problems with that victory over the Nashville Predators, and everybody had eyes and sights like they were going to be the Las Vegas Golden Knights. But it turns out they are 8th place in the Pacific Division at this point. They've only accrued 37 points throughout this point in the season. They hold a record of 16, 34, and 5. They are frankly abysmal, and they do not look like they are going to be turning this around anytime soon. On home ice, they hold a record of 9, 17, and 3, and they are currently on a long losing streak with a minus 56 goal differential. I'm only going to go back to the last 5 games, taking you back to the 19th of February where they lost 2-1 at Calgary. On the 21st, it was a 5-2 loss at Vancouver. On the 22nd, a 5-2 loss versus the New York Islanders. Follow that up on February the 24th with a 3-2 overtime loss versus the Boston Bruins. And just last night, it was a 3-1 loss at the San Jose Sharks. Grubauer took the loss, went 21 out of 24. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game in Seattle against the Kraken, that will not only wrap up the regular season series, but they will only have one more game on the West Coast road trip to take care of. That will take place on Saturday in San Jose. So the schedule makers give the Preds the big hookup after the Stadium Series game. They do not play again until Wednesday, and then they do not play again until Saturday. So only 2 games in the week after the Stadium Series. On the 8th of March, the Preds are back home to take on the Dallas Stars, and then on the 10th, they'll face off against Anaheim. The 12th, we'll see St. Louis in town, and then on the 13th, a pivotal matchup, the Nashville Predators will be in Minnesota. Injuries suddenly becoming a bit of an issue for this Preds team. Cousins out week to week. That's been established for a while. That's really the first significant injury the Preds have had in some time. But now, Carrier missing the most recent game and Borowiecki missing the last couple of games. We'll hope to get an update on them very soon. When you take a look inside the matchup between these two teams, there's not a whole lot of competitiveness between the Nashville Predators and the Seattle Kraken. As a matter of fact, the Kraken's numbers are downright abysmal. In goals for, they're 28th, goals against 26, shots for 31st, power play they're 29th, and the penalty kill they're 22nd. Yes, I skipped one right there. I skipped shots against because it plays into something I want to talk about with this game. They're actually 4th best in the NHL in shots against at 28.9, and the Nashville Predators are 28th in the NHL in shots for. It's been a bit of an issue all season long. So for the Silver Lining Club looking for something for Seattle, the Seattle Kraken limit teams in shots, and the Preds don't take a lot of shots. That could be an effective advantage in Seattle's way. But other than that, every number is going to favor the Nashville Predators. 14th in the league in goals for, 3.04, a half a goal more than the Kraken per game. Goals against, their 12th. Shots for, 28th. We just talked about that. Shots against, their 20th. The Predators' power play is rated 7th best in the NHL. They converted 39 times and 163 opportunities. And their penalty kill, 16th rated in the league. They've given up 39 power play goals against. Every team has high-skilled individuals, but there is no comparison between these two teams. The top scorer for the Seattle Kraken would barely be in the top 5 on the Nashville Predators. I'll give you the Kraken's numbers because they are significantly lower and less impressive than the Nashville Predators first. That was my way of flipping a coin in this decision while I'm in the middle of a broadcast. McCann's got 21 goals and 12 assists for the season. That means 33 points. Eberle at 15 and 16 for 31. Gord is at 11 and 18 for 29. Giordano 6 and 17 for 23. Wenberg 4 goals and 19 assists for 23 points. And former Nashville Predator and fan favorite Kelly Arncroke, 10 goals on the season, 12 assists for 22 points. In net, Philip Grubauer's numbers are bad. 12, 23, and 5 has the record. .888 save percentage and a 3.17 goals against average. Those numbers for me do not qualify to be a starting goaltender in the NHL, but on an expansion team, you take what you got and you sign the guy to a long-term contract, so they're going to ride that thing out. But if you have a save percentage under 9 and a goals against average above 3, those are my warning signs that you are no longer capable of being an NHL starting goaltender. If they remain that way, Philip Grubauer will find that out. On the Nashville Predators side of the ledger when it comes to stats, Roman Yossi's got 14 goals, 39 assists for 53 points. Matt Duchene's at 23 goals now now and 23 assists for 46 points. Philip Forsberg at 27 and 18 for 45. Granlund 8 and 33 for 41. There's Ryan Johansson at 13 goals and 24 assists for 37 points. And then we see Tanner Jeannot, 18 goals now in the season and 14 assists for 32 points. UC Saros significantly better numbers in net than Grubauer, 25, 16, and 3, a 9.23 save percentage and a 2.46 goals against average. It's real simple. Coming out of the Stadium Series, the Nashville Predators could potentially be facing an emotional letdown. They'll have a long flight out to Seattle to deal with that, get their minds focused and get it straight, and they have to come away with a victory in Seattle. They simply must. They're a playoff team, and they are in a playoff hunt, and we are coming down to the final quarter of the season here very, very soon. The Preds have only taken 2 out of 4 points from the Seattle Kraken this season. They must take 4 out of 6. They must take both games in Seattle. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports, you can find them at rebirthsports.com. Also, social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Incredible people, incredible partners, and they help make the Homebase Freakout an incredible event. We were able to give away a home and an away jersey from the Renegades of Puck at the Homebase Freakout, thanks to our incredible friends and partners over at Rebirth Sports. Also, take a look around the room at the Homebase Freakout. Most of the High Council of Renegades was in attendance. They were all wearing their colors. They were sporting them proudly, like everyone who's ever gotten a jersey from Rebirth Sports does. Everywhere I go, everywhere it is that I'm wearing their thread, somebody comes up and asks, where'd you get them? And I say, my good man, it's simple. I went to Rebirth Sports. You can find them easily online, rebirthsports.com. I'm so happy, so appreciative, and so thankful to have them as partners here of the Renegades of Puck. Now, let's get into the full game recap. Thanks to Rebirth Sports, going all the way back to the 26th of February when the Nashville Predators took on the Tampa Bay Lightning at Nissan Stadium, the home of the Tennessee Titans, in the Stadium Series. Over 68,000 people, making it the 7th largest game in attendance ever for the National Hockey League, and John Hines rolls his lines out for the spectacle like this. Cunnin, Johansson, and Tomasino, Forsberg, Granlund, and Duchesne, Trennan, Sissons, and Jeannot, Tolvanen, McCarron, and Luff, Yossi and Favreau, Ekholm and Benning, Harper and Myers. Carrier, we found out just before the game, was a late scratch. UC Saros, of course, gets the start in net. 1:19 into the first period, and it's Johansson off the box. 5 minutes for a hit to the head on Chernak. The referees would go to the box. They would review it. They would reduce it as well to 2 minutes. I did not see anything intentional or with malice. It looked like Johansson was just trying to establish a hard forecheck and go in there, as the Preds often do. UC Saros on the penalty kill will come with a huge save on Stamkos. First shot of goal on the game. Of course, we are less than 2 minutes into the game at this point. Saros then comes up with a save on Colton's deflection at close range. 4:49 in the first period. UC Saros comes with a save on foot 6:34. Joseph's out of the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, and we see the Nashville Predators in their second ever outdoor game scoring the first goal of the game for the second time. It's Tanner Jeannot, wouldn't you know? 18th goal of the season, giving the Nashville Predators a 1-0 lead. Philip Tomasino gets a good shot off after doing some good stick work and bringing the jam, and then it's Tanner Jeannot with the rebound off of Vasilevsky's pad. He puts it right back into the empty net. Nashville Predators with a 1-0 lead. The live band is playing. The fans don't know how to chant, and everything is just kind of weird, but it's an awful lot of fun. 9:55 the first period. McCarron and Maroon are off the box, 5 minutes for each. Nice little dust up. Maroon gets the crowd all fired up by gesturing and gesticulating to them after the fight before heading to the penalty box. 14:06 of the first. Saros makes a save on Joseph. 15:08. Saros another save on Stamkos, this time with the stick handle. You can tell Stamkos thought he had one right there, but no, he was in fact denied for now. 16:08 of the first period. Vasilevsky does a save on McCarron's deflection at tight range. 19:13. Saros' save on McDonough's redirect is impressive at 19:15. Benning is off the box, 2 minutes for interference. Now, he was working hard in the corner. He laid a couple of good, clean hits. He was battling hard, then goes to the front of the net, and unfortunately for the Preds, does get called for the interference. At least he got his money's worth on those 2 minutes. We hit the end of the first period, and the Nashville Predators are being outshot 12-11 at Nissan Stadium. We see a carry over the power play of 1 minute and 50 seconds, and at this point, Tampa Bay goes to work. We see Point getting his 20th goal of the season. It was a batted pass out of the air at the low circle, and it beat UC Saros clean. He found just enough open space and fought through the stick checks, and he puts the puck in the net, giving Tampa Bay a 1-1 1 tie to the delight of the 20,000 or so Tampa Bay fans that were in attendance at Nissan Stadium. So we've got a tied hockey game. We're now at 5:06 of the second period when Johansson and Bellemare is off the box, 5 minutes each. There was a one-punch fight. It wasn't much of a scrap, but it was a scrap right off of the face-off. Johansson was clearly feeling it in this game with the emotions running high and feeling the vibe. 5:15 of the second period. Genoa is off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking again. Right off the face-off here as well. Unfortunately for the Preds, Kucherov is just absolutely lethal. He's got his 9th goal of the season. It was a wrist shot from the right circle, giving Tampa Bay now a 2-1 lead. Now leading for the first time in the game, and the Tampa Bay fans are just feeling it at Nissan Stadium. 7:04 of the second period. Vasilevsky comes up with a save on Forsberg. 7:05. McDonough's off the box. 2 minutes for roughing, but the Tampa Bay penalty kill would be incredibly strong and prevent the Nashville Predators from doing much of anything. 10:50 of the second period. Vasilevsky comes up with a save on Genoa. 14:23. Saros' save on McDonough is through heavy traffic. 18:35. Myers off the box. 2 minutes for tripping. We'd see Saros come up with a huge save on Stamkos before we hit the end of the second period. Tampa Bay now 25 shots on goal. The Nashville Predators only 16 shots on goal. So the Nashville Predators give up 2 goals in the period, but only generate 5 shots on net. You're certainly not going to beat a whole lot of NHL teams, and you're certainly not going to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning if you can only generate 5 shots on net. And the Nashville Predators, in fairness, did have a power play, but were unable to do anything. We do see a carryover of the power play for Tampa Bay of 35 seconds into the third period. Just after that expires at the 45-second mark, we see Saros come up with another save on Cirelli. 1:32, Cirelli still out there and still making problems, as you see Saros has to stop him again. At 5:38, Saros a save on Killorn, and it's taking a while for the Preds here in the third period to generate any type of momentum for a comeback. They'll get a chance here because at 6:57, Bellemare's off to the box, 2 minutes for interference. Vasilevsky comes up with a huge save on Duchesne. Saros then comes up with a save on Joseph's shorthand breakaway that also clips the top of the crossbar and goes straight up into the air. At 11:31 then of the third period, Steven Stamkos gets his 25th goal of the season. A one-timer from the low left circle. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough of it. It goes in the net, giving Tampa Bay a 3-1 lead. A lot of people with cold noses, toes are on their way out of the stadium at this point in time, but you should have stuck around because at 12:22, Hedman's off to the box, 2 minutes for hooking. This should have been a penalty shot for Ryan Johansson. Under every single criteria that is issued for calling a penalty shot, this should have been, even if it was a 50-50 call, it should have been a penalty shot considering the setting, considering the game, considering the circumstance, the situation. It would have been incredible to see Ryan Johansson go all loops and swoops and slow it down and chop it up on a penalty shot, but that was not to be. So Hedman's just off to the box, and that's when Philip Forsberg does convert, giving the Nashville Predators their second goal of the game and getting them back into it. 3-2 in favor of Tampa Bay. Forsberg's 27th goal of the season. He was Forsberg into the open net after a sick cross-slot pass from Mikael Granlund. Mikael Granlund just has the eyes, the vision, and the world-class distribution service to make that happen. 16:29 of the third period. Then Granlund puts on an absolute huge clean hit on Cirelli, burying him shoulder to shoulder. 18:05 with the empty net scenario. The Nashville Predators start gaining some opportunities and some chances, but unfortunately in 1926, Vasilevsky comes up with the best save the Preds had, and that was on Geno's jam attempt. And at the 20-minute mark, we saw a large scrum that I thought for just a second, and I think the referees were thinking this too, might break out into 2, possibly 3 fights, but cooler heads prevail. They do go to a handshake line, and the final of this game is 3-2 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Overall, my thoughts on the Stadium Series event were that Nashville did it just a little bit better than Dallas, and mostly I say that because of the efficiency and ease of actually getting into the stadium. Now, getting out of the stadium was a little bit more difficult as there was quite the traffic jam on the pedestrian bridge, but overall, logistically, I thought that Nashville handled this event very well. The 7th largest attended game in National Hockey League history took place in Nashville, Tennessee. The first outdoor game in history in the state of Tennessee took place, and it was a great success. It was sold out. I know they leaned a little bit too heavy into the country music element, but listen, you're in Music City, USA, and while we know as locals there is a plethora of musicians and musical artists here and genres here, they just don't see that when they come in to do national broadcasts or those things. They want the boots, they want the hats, they want the fiddles, they want the country music scene to be part of Smashville. It's incredible to see that hockey matches right up next to that now on equal footing, considering this entire city was built around the country music industry. It was an incredible event overall. I saw mostly people having a good time, enjoying themselves, buying merchandise, picking up beers, buying concessions, and overall, I thought it was a great night for the hockey scene, a great night for the community of Nashville, and I am absolutely certain that one day the Nashville Predators will host a Winter Classic, and it'll take place at either Neyland Stadium against the Carolina Hurricanes, or it will take place at Bristol Motor Speedway against the Washington Capitals. You can book it. The Nashville Predators have delivered the goods every single time they have been handed a big event. The team on the ice? Absolutely not. They failed to win the Stanley Cup. They did not win in the Winter Classic, and now they did not win in the Stadium Series game. But if you can take the results and put them off to the side, knowing that these mostly were just one regular season game, the Stanley Cup final, of course, is much more painful and always will be painful. But if you can put the results and the scores aside, the overall events were massive successes here in Nashville. Go back to the draft in 2003. Over 12,000 people chanting, "Let's go Predators," as Ryan Suter was drafted. The draft has never looked the same, and it has never been as boring as it was before Nashville had it. The All-Star game came to town, and the Nashville community turned out for 3 straight days, and it was electric. As a matter of fact, the format of the game itself was changed, and that format still exists today. When the Stanley Cup Final came to town, there were not only 18,000 people inside the arena, but there were an additional 60,000 people outside on 90-plus degree asphalt watching on TVs, celebrating together. Now the Stadium Series has sold out and has been an incredible event for the National Hockey League and for the city. There is no doubt the Nashville Predators and the Predators fan base can be trusted with large-scale events, even hosting their own Winter Classic when you could potentially draw 100,000. You think the 7th largest game in history by attendance was a big thing in Tennessee? Well, what are you going to do when there's 130,000 at Bristol Motor Speedway and Tennessee hosts the largest hockey game by attendance in the history of the sport? It's possible. It may happen very soon. Book it, Renegades. UC Saros was 30 out of 33 in the Stadium Series game. He gave up 2 power play goals against and a Steven Stamkos wide-open one-timer from the circle. UC Saros, I thought, was spectacular in this game, and the reason the Nashville Predators didn't get run out of the stadium in the second period is because UC Saros simply came up with some incredible saves. From the angle that I had to watch the game, no, I don't sit in no hoity-toity press box being away. I sit with the fans. From where I was sitting, I was directly behind UC Saros. I had an opportunity to watch his tracking, to watch his movement, to see just how quick his reactions are. And I got to tell you, it's fascinating to watch UC Saros. I've had a chance to observe every Nashville Predators goaltender in history up close and personal. UC Saros may be the most interesting goaltender to watch from the perspective of sitting directly behind the goal and just seeing how otherworldly his skill set can be. Thought UC Saros was easily one of the best performers in this game for the Nashville Predators, and it was a treat and a delight to see him out there on the ice, and his gear looked incredible. I hope everybody got a chance to see it. Strong Style Fitness is another incredible partner to this show. You can find Strong Style Fitness on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also StrongStyleFit.com. Over 150 workouts now by a certified personal trainer, and you can find those on YouTube, totally donation-based. And we saw the results at Homebase Freakout. We had a couple of different Renegades of Puck and a couple of different family members come up to us and tell us about how they have been doing Strong Style Fitness workouts now for several months. The results were incredible, and they were obvious. We'll get testimonials, and we'll get them to testify here on the show here very soon. But you, too, can have those same results. It is a completely free service for you, ready for you on demand whenever you want to work out. Whether it's your first stretch or you're ready to throw iron like an expert, Tracy will take you through the process. She's got a workout for everybody, and we'll be filming brand new episodes shortly. So Strong Style Fitness will be coming back with all new chapters and all new training very soon. We'd appreciate if you would show some sick taps, love, and respect to Tracy over at Strong Style Fitness. She not only helped sponsor the event, not only shares studio space with the Renegades of Puck, but also was an incredible force at the Homebase Freakout in helping organize, communicate, and keep everything moving great. Not just sponsors, not just partners, amazing people. That's who we want to be involved with. So let me tell you a little bit now about Sean C. Smith. Sean C. Smith had an incredible weekend as well. Got a chance to hang out with Sean and his wife and his family over the weekend at the Homebase Freakout, and Sean was amazing. He was everywhere. You want to talk about a no half-step in effort, he simply covered every single thing. When I say he's got the intel that you need and he's out there on the front lines working for you Renegades, I absolutely mean it. Let me start Sean C. Smith's segment off by telling you he had a chance to catch up with Nashville Predators all-time franchise penalty minutes leader and fan favorite Jordan Tutu before the Stadium Series even started. Here's Sean C. Smith with Jordan Tutu.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith, and I want to talk a little bit about all of the excitement surrounding the Pecorine retirement and the Stadium Series weekend in Nashville. Pretty incredible stuff. A very just, honestly, for someone who's covering the team and is fortunate enough to be able to cover the team in person and to be able to interact with the players, wow, just what an opportunity and what an amazing, I guess I'm using the same adjectives, amazing, incredible, but there's so many other words that could be used to describe the experience of covering that game in Nissan Stadium from the Titans press box and just being able to be a part of that game in just a very small way and trying to bring it to everybody, to bring it to all of you Renegades out there. Just was totally honored, totally just blown away by the fact that I got to be a part of that anyway. And I want to say this, I had the opportunity before we got into the Stadium Series, after the Pecorine retirement game, to talk to Jordan Tutu. And I was very happy to talk to Jordan Tutu. He's one of my favorite players, totally a guy that never half-stepped in his life, and definitely brings that Renegade mentality to the ice and just to the game of life, if I could be quite honest. So I was really excited to talk to him. And I asked him a question about whether or not he was going to feel a little bit of regret that he wasn't out on the ice for the Stadium Series game. He had a really good answer. We're going to show it to you here in just a second, but he brought up Tanner Jeannot really quickly, and I think it was really, I don't know why it caught me off guard, if I could be honest with you, but I was really surprised that I hadn't made that connection before. Tanner Jeannot is the heir apparent to what Jordan Tutu is all about. The Predators have had players since Jordan Tutu who could chuck the knuckles, if you will, but have they had a guy that can do both, score and throw blows and be an intimidating presence on the ice, all the while being a major fan favorite? And so he brought up Tanner Jeannot, and so as you'll see in the video, I followed up with a question about whether or not he had a chance to talk to Tanner and kind of a passing of the torch, or at least you know, a real recognizes real situation. And his answer is pretty cool. So why don't you guys check that out?
No, you know what? I was able to walk away from the game on my own terms, and you know, not a lot of guys get to do that. So, you know, coming back, yeah, I still get the itch, but I know deep down that, you know, I did what I did, and I'm forever grateful that I was able to play in the league for as long as I did. And now for me, it's spending time with my wife and my kids, and having clarity, and you know, being able to share stories, and hopefully one day, you know, my girls will get them here, and I'll show them around where Daddy played 3/4 of his hockey career. So do I miss the game? No, not so much. You know, in Kelowna, we a lot of ex-pros live there, so Thursday nights, you know, you get that dressing room camaraderie. I'm sure every player who's retired misses that part of the game, just being around the boys. So, but yeah, you know, right off the draw last night, Tanner, you know, dropped the gloves, and you know, good old Saskatchewan boy, good old Canadian Western boy right there. So, yeah, like it. I miss that part, you know, entertaining the fans and just being around the boys.
What have you thought about Tanner Jeannot's play and seeing him really embrace that physical role for the team?
Yeah, you know, I've been there, and I understand, you know, the grind that it takes, and you know, when you're a bubble player in and out of the lineup, you know, Tanner earned every bit of it, and that's, you know, to me, the sign of a true professional who earns his spot. you know, in this league, nothing's given to you for free. You got to earn your opportunities, and I think, you know, Tanner, knowing where he's been, you know, last year and the year before, worked his way up. And I always say, you know, the good old Western boys that, you know, the farm boys who know how to work hard, and you know, I always use the term mind over matter, mental toughness. That's what it's all about.
Have you had a chance to like talk to Tanner?
Actually, I was just crossed paths with him down in the hallway, so it's good to chat a little bit, and wished him well, and you know, hopefully he's gonna be here for a long time.
Wow, and you know what? Here's the thing. I like the fact that Jordan Tootoo recognizes the adversity that Tanner Jeannot has had to overcome in order to get to the NHL. Different types of adversity. However, you know, they're from the same part of Canada. He recognizes the fact that this is a hardworking guy just like he was, and he really gets the idea that you're entertaining the fans out there, and I really appreciate that. Not just about Jordan Tootoo, but Tanner Jeannot as well. So I wanted to share that with you when we had the opportunity, and this seemed like as good a time as ever. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Stadium Series. I was there covering it for on the forecheck. I was incredibly busy. I felt like, man, I felt like I was just supposed to be everywhere all at once. As soon as I'd get one place, I had to go to another. And to me, realistically, it was a blast. It's the kind of busyness that you really enjoy. But I do want to talk about the game, because there's a few things I do want to say. Of course, the first and most important is that, you know, let's stick with the theme here. Tanner Jeannot scores the first goal, the first outdoor goal in Tennessee history. And I think it was pretty exciting because it came on the power play. And that's kind of been the thing with Jeannot here, is that he's not a guy who gets a lot of power play time, and he's doing everything that he's doing as a rookie competing for the Calder without power play time. And so it was really interesting to see him get a chance on the power play and to see him capitalize on it almost immediately. And so here's the thing. If you want to make an argument for Jeannot for the Calder, there you go right there. He can do it all. He can play at every level. He can score at every level. And he can beat you on the boards and with his fists as well. Definitely a man you have to respect at every level of the game when it comes to hockey. Now, what happened with the rest of the game? Here's my takeaway from it. Once you got into the second period, the Tampa Bay Lightning seemed like they had an extra guy at the blue line, denying entry to the Predators every time they try to get into their scoring zone, their offensive zone. And here's the thing. I kept feeling like if they could just get their offense established in the zone, that they were going to have as good a chance as anybody to score, but they just couldn't do it. And I think what was even more frustrating to me, and it was also one of the more exciting parts of the game, was that after Johansson drew that hooking penalty, which a lot of people said, hey, that should be a penalty shot, and they didn't give them a penalty shot. I made the comment on Twitter, and I said, hey, would you rather have one free shot at the goalie, or would you rather have 2 minutes with a one-man advantage? And a lot of people very quickly responded, give me the shot. Give me the shot. I'll take the shot. But you didn't get the shot. But you know who was able to get a shot off really quick? Philip Forsberg, scoring the second goal for the Predators, also on the power play, and making the end of that game really interesting. And what was frustrating to me about that was you really did see that, yes, in fact, if you could get your offense established in the zone, it was going to be successful. The problem was that it was just really hard to do that against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're absolutely tenacious at the blue line, absolutely force the Predators to dump the puck almost every time. And when you're having to chase all night long, you're not able to get to the game you need to play in order to give yourself the best chance to win. So unfortunately, that's kind of where things ended up for the Predators. As far as I'm concerned, that was the story of the night for me, was just absolutely stifling defense from the Lightning. And you've seen the Predators play that style before too, so you know it works, because when the Predators can do that, they do it very well. Now, after the game, and what was an incredible surprise to me, I didn't expect this at all, we actually got to talk to the players face-to-face, and not sitting in a room where they were behind another table, but where, yes, we were still separated. There was a velvet rope, if you will, keeping us apart from the players. And the players did stand on a box that was about that tall. But we got to talk to the players face-to-face for the first time in 2 years. And lo and behold, they sent out Tanner Jeannot because, of course, he scored a goal. He scored the first goal, and by gosh, this guy is just, his star is rising in this city and in this sport. It is rising, and it is rising fast. And so I had the opportunity to talk to Tanner Jeannot, and he talked about scoring his goal. And one of the things he talked about, and you can really tell, is he knows where he came from. He knows that he's playing in a sport surrounded by guys who have been drafted every stage of the game. Guys that have been drafted into the NHL, guys that have been drafted into the AHL, guys that have been drafted to the junior level, and that's never happened to Tanner Jeannot. Every spot he's earned by showing up at camp and making an impact very quickly. You've seen it happen over and over, and here he is at this level. It's exactly what Jordan Tutu referred to, and exactly what he's referring to in this clip that Charlie's going to show you right now.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, there was a lot of anticipation going into this game. Everyone was really excited, and to get that first goal like that and have the crowd kind of erupt, it was amazing. It felt I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life for sure. And you know, it was a great experience, and I'm really happy for it. Wish we had a better outcome, but it was really fun. Like you said, you're dialed in, but you're trying to take it all in at the same time. It's an experience of a lifetime, so just try to soak it all in. And you know, yeah, of course you look around and see and think this is pretty crazy, and you know, especially for me, who would have thought like I would have ever had this kind of an opportunity. So I was just trying to take in every second and enjoy it.
Well, there you have it. If you could design a hockey player, that's exactly what he'd look like. And if you could choose the personality he'd have on the ice, that's exactly what you'd choose. But if you could choose the personality he had off the ice, this is a genuine guy who absolutely is aware of what he's getting to do and the level he's getting to do it at. And I tell you, he appreciates every chance he's gotten. He's also earned every chance he's gotten. And he's not going to let down the people that have put their faith in him. This is a guy I think you could ride to a championship. And I tell you, I can't wait to one day see him hoist the Stanley Cup. It's going to be incredible. Now, listen, unfortunately, the Predators lost the game, right? But you know who I think really won big time this weekend? Were the Renegades of Puck. If you made it out to the Homebase Freakout, what an awesome time we had. First off, incredible appearances from so many special guests. But the most important thing to me, and I'll tell you this, Renegades, was getting a chance to meet all of you. I never want to take for granted the fact that I'm fortunate and blessed to sit here in front of this camera and talk to you guys after games. I feel very lucky that I have the opportunity to share what I get to experience and see as someone who covers this team with fans out there. I hope that I can kind of transform that experience or transfer that experience from what I'm seeing, what I'm doing to you, to help you understand the game more and help you experience it in a little bit deeper of a way than you would if you were just watching it on TV. So the fact that I got to meet so many of you, the fact that so many of you came out to the Homebase Freakout meant everything in the world to me. I was there with my wife, Michelle. It was so nice to meet all of you. I know it doesn't seem like it on camera, but I'm a little bit shy in public, but hopefully I was able to overcome that enough to talk to everybody. And if you were there and we didn't get a chance to talk, I apologize. But we definitely felt your love and support. And it definitely lets me know that there's a real reason that we sit here and we do this show for you guys. And that reason, of course, is you. It's all of you Renegades out there. So first off, thank you to Crazy Charlie for giving me the opportunity to do this. I never want to take it for granted. And at the same time, thank you to all the Renegades out there who tune into the show regularly, who support us, who tell their friends about us, and who message us and retweet and share and view everything that we put out there. So thank you, Renegades, from me to you, and of course from all the rest of us to you as well. Couldn't do it without you. And Charlie, I'm going to send it back over to you.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. Find his working on theforecheck.com. He is Sean C. Smith, and he is simply incredible. It's great to see Sean work in the room at the Homebase Freakout and meeting all the different Renegades of Puck viewers and listeners and all of our friends and family from over the years. It was a great night. Sean C. Smith, thank you so much. You are simply incredible. Talking about simply incredible, Stripe Digital Solutions. Let me give you the particulars first. Stripe Digital Solutions can be found online at stripedigitalsolutions.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Stripe Digital Solutions. Solutions. Stripe Digital Solutions made possible through an incredible generosity and partnership. The pins, the stickers, and the postcards, and the posters, and the t-shirts that were all available for giveaway at the Homebase Freakout. We were able to give almost every single Renegade of Puck that came by the event something to take home with them as a souvenir. You can see I'm wearing the pin right here on my Bag Chuckers jacket, and I will continue to represent that pin. They were so incredibly popular. I wish I could have given even more of them away. Stripe Digital Solutions made that happen. Stripe Digital Solutions does so much for this program right here. Let me tell you what Stripe Digital Solutions can do to help you before I filibuster all of their time. Stripe Digital Solutions can help you with building your brand, can help you building your website, can help you with graphics, can help you with the implementation of everything when it comes to the internet and the things that you need to be doing these days. You cannot do it alone. You need someone to help you in the trenches, and there's nobody better than Stripe Digital Solutions. Stripe Digital Solutions put in such a no-half step and effort both inside the trenches and outside the trenches last week that the stick taps, love, and respect that I give to everybody else is simply not enough. I love you, Stripe Digital Solutions, and I cannot express properly. I will try over years to express just how thankful I am for all that you have done. Everybody loves your work, and you can help everybody out. I'm glad you got to meet so many people. I'm glad you got to hang out and talk to all the different great people out there. Stripe Digital Solutions is doing great work for the Renegades of Puck and for everyone who gets involved. Now, I got to tell you a little bit about the box score from the game at the Stadium Series at Nissan Stadium. Philip Forsberg and Tanner Jeannot, your only goal scorers for the Nashville Predators. Really thought they were going to get one with the empty net with a 6-on-5 to give us a nice overtime, maybe a shootout in that incredible setting in front of 68,000 plus people. Granlund and Johansson, Sissons, and Tomasino are your assists on the score sheet and shots on goal. Philip Forsberg had 5. Roman Josi had 4. When it comes to block shots, Matt Benning had 4 in this game. Hits, very physical game considering the temperature, considering the setting, considering the longer breaks leading into and out of the periods. I thought it was a very physical game, and it represented very much what a normal NHL game would be. Philip Forsberg had 3 hits. Granlund had 3 hits. Jeannot had 3 hits. Also, Cunnin, Luff, McCarron, all 3 hits. Ekholm 3 hits. Sissons led the team in hits with 4. So a very physical game there, out there on the ice. It was a lot of fun to see the two teams getting after each other.
All right, Alti. You have to get up. You're going to sleep through the whole show. Charlie needs your reaction for the Stadium Series. Well, I tried.
Listen, it was an incredible weekend out there for the entirety of the hockey community. I've already mentioned it so many times. Many of you got to take part in 1, 2, maybe all of the events that happened over the weekend. For any of you that took a moment of time to come to the Homebase Freakout, I am so incredibly thankful. We are beginning to build something that is going to be very special. It was a showcase that is going to launch the Renegades of Puck to not just the next step in our evolution, our development, but well beyond. We're on that rocket ship now to outer space, and we're going to continue fighting for everything we believe in. That means the no half step in way becomes the no half step in movement, and we continue moving forward. For any of you who took the moment to stop, speak with me, shake my hand, pick up a free t-shirt, get a pin, or just promote us on social media to let your friends know that we were going to be there, it means a lot to us. We're a startup organization that averages under 20 replays per podcast, and somehow we drew 2,000 people to our live event. There are very few organizations and very few talents on this planet that can do such a thing. I and we are one of those organizations. Thank you so much. Stick taps, love, respect. Before we head out of the bunker, before we wrap up the show, let's check in one more time, see how he's doing. It is, of course, the ultimate one.
All right, bringing in the big guns. Alti. Alti, you have to wake up. Charlie needs your reaction for the Renegades of Puck. We're counting on you to get the fan reaction. Alti. Okay, let's try this. Did you enjoy this weekend? All right. And how did you feel about the game? Okay, that's fair. But how did you feel about the party and all the awesome Renegades that came out to support you guys? Nice. And would you like to do all of this again? Yeah, me too. But not right now, right, buddy? Yeah, I think Alti needs to recharge his batteries. Should I just let you sleep for a while? Okay. Charlie, I think that's all we're getting, but thanks for an awesome weekend and great party, and thanks to all the Renegades who showed up. I'm gonna let this one get some rest. Thanks, guys.
The Ultimate Predator wrapped up an incredibly big weekend, and I'm not surprised to see him in the condition that he is in. It's also incredible to see Renegade Courtney right there at the end of that clip. Renegade Courtney was absolutely stunning at the Homebase Freakout. Stick taps, love, and respect to you as well, and to each and every one of you. I am so thankful and so appreciative to be the captain of the Renegades of Puck. I am so happy that we started this movement over 12 years ago and that we went independent and have become our own free and independent hockey state. The war that we once led has paid off in ways that we will be feeling for years to come. We are free, Renegades. We are established and we are part of the hockey community now, and we will be for many years to come. I will never let you down, and I will never fail you. We are on our way, Renegades. I just simply cannot wait to let you know what happens next and to see what happens next. But I can tell you, day 90, it's coming soon. And this, for you bag chuckers, especially you, Chris Mason. I can't believe that you hand-sewed a leather jacket and then presented it to me on stage by calling me one of the greatest no-half-steppers ever. Appreciate you. Stick taps. Love. Respect.